again, so I'm back after like a month away doing Get Ready With Me. I already have skincare on and primer spray on, so I can get right into this. But the last month I've been kind of busy doing other things. I'm also getting into like Reddit videos. Why? Because I just don't... I think I watched like one or two and then I found like the Anti-MLM subreddit, which is always interesting. Because I didn't really think about it until like I started doing craft shows and seeing that there was a community of people who didn't like MLMs, which are businesses like Unique, Avon, Mary Kay, brands like Arbonne, which are all like direct sales, if that makes any sense. I just got foundation in my hair. I'll get that out later. Which I always thought were okay, and I'm going to explain why, because I actually grew up in one, which probably skewed my opinion of them for the longest time, because I just thought, oh, they're just girls who want to make extra money, blah, 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 blah. So, after, like, looking into them more because of the Anti-MLM subreddit and videos and other things, I kind of changed my opinion on those. But I was raised in one. Well, I slash grew up in one. I wasn't really fully raised because my mom didn't actually join Avon until I was in high school, if that makes any sense. This is just before Avon's branding. If you're wondering what I'm using, it'll be all like, I'll be down below, just because I don't feel like talking about brands right now, other than my little story. So she joined during, actually it might have been slightly before then. I'm not 100% sure when she joined. I just remember having Avon products around me all the time when I was growing up. Actually, oh wow. I just like thought back and was like, I'm thinking it was elementary now. Because I remember switching schools and actually having a whole bunch of Avon products. Which I swear to God was the only reason I actually had friends in elementary school, is because I was the only kid that had relatively easy access to makeup / like the little tiny lipsticks that Avon had for the longest time. I'm not sure if they even do those anymore, but I just remember those and having a whole bunch of like lip gloss and having a huge variety of nail polishes, just because this is also the time where I was still doing like local catalog modeling, so I had my own makeup to take with me. Like I had lip glosses, I had nail polishes in every color, so if a brand wanted, like a store wanted a specific color, I could switch out my nail polish really quickly. I also wore like clear mascara and glue. Like we had two. There was one that was for the lashes, and then there was one for the eyebrows, just like tame them down, and like the baby hairs, just like I have like really bad baby hairs, but I grew up with it. So as I was getting older, I was actually starting, because my mom was working more and more shifts, I was actually coming home, and there would always be, Avon would always deliver on Thursdays. And paydays for my mom and her, like the places she worked, because she worked at a call center, was on Friday. So we would have to get the orders ready for Friday. And after about like the second year of middle school, I was coming home, dragging in the boxes. And if you've never seen an Avon box, they are like 8 inches by 6 inches deep, about 6 inches tall. And they packed them, like when we were doing, like when my mom was doing it, they would pack them extremely full, especially near Christmas time. So I would drag them in. I would be babysitting my sister, and I would also be unpacking these boxes, and you always knew which boxes were like the catalogs because of the weight. The weight would be so much less for like the catalogs, the samples, and the bags, which none of those were free. Like none of those are ever free in an MLM. You pay for them. my mom always bought like samples to put in certain people's things, like the fragrance samples, and makeup samples. So they made little tiny, like this is, so the fragrance samples would be little foil packs, maybe a spray bottle if you, like mom was feeling generous, because those are actually more expensive of the two. I'm not sure if they still do the little fragrance balls or not. And then there would be like two like different ways of sampling makeup. There would be those little cards that have pigment pressed into them, and then the lipsticks would either come as a foil packet or a little lipstick tube. It was always weird to me that they had two different packaging. So I actually learned how to read an order slip very quickly. This is before online sales became a huge thing, and Avon's ducks into a huge MLM now. This is back when their structure changed from independent consultant, so you would get your own commission based on how much you would sell versus how much you sold over, like you would see the wholesale price and then you would see the what the customer paid. So there's always the way that it would read is the order sheet would say how much you owed the company for that item and how much you should charge your consumer. A lot of MLMs do this now, but Avon just did it because it was easier to know, and you basically got to keep the extra money over above what you paid for it for the company. Then Avon changed it to appear like closer to the pyramid shape that we know now, so there's a commission that goes up. So it kind of makes a triangle, if you know what kind of shape that is. So my mom was out of it before that happened, but it was always weird. Like, I never thought about it as weird until I like started my own doing side hustling myself as an adult. I always was like, why? And then I just remember hearing all these like things about like MLMs, but I was like, okay, whatever. It doesn't bother me that like people from high school were like trying to talk to me, that didn't want to talk to me for years. And then as I started going to more and more craft shows, I started thinking about it more and more. It's like, why are these people so pushy and demanding? The weird thing is a lot of them say to support, like, oh, support your support your small businesses. And yet when they're at craft shows, they don't want to support other vendors or even talk to them. Or if they did want to talk to them, it's like one of them actually came up to me, like, this was last year, and was like, well, you could make more money if you just stopped doing this, and jumped on to, I think it was Unique. No, it was Limelight, because Limelight had just come to Canada. And that you can make more money. And I just remember like thinking, it's like, why? Because my mom never made a huge amount of money out at Avon. It was only like a little bit extra for Christmas. Because those Christmas boxes were like I was never a huge fan of Christmas. Growing, like, after a certain age, I stopped caring about Christmas. But I used to remember, like, winter was the worst time, because sometimes the boxes would get stuck in the snow, or if we knew the delivery guy was coming, we would just leave the door open, and he would put them inside. Luckily, we, like, knew the guy, and we had, like, we had 2 doors that could lock. So we would just put them on the freezer. And some of these boxes weighed 80 to 90 pounds because of how much crap was in them. And that is the best term I could think of, because it was usually bubble bath. Surprisingly, perfume, if you put enough, like, depending on the order, there would be bubble bath and perfume and a few other things in one box. And home goods, I hated home goods because they never fit in, like, Avon bags were tiny. They only were like this. So we actually had to, like, figure out a solution to that, because people were ordering so much home goods that was ridiculous. If you're wondering why my mom got out of it, it was actually because the call center she worked 4 went under, and most of her clients were at the call center. This was in the like early 2000s, so if that's why internet shopping wasn't a huge thing. I pity people who are in MLMs. Like, I feel bad because most people, like, my thing is most people have talents that they can market very well, like for side hustles, like baking or crafting. Like in my case, I craft. So it's one of those things where you could develop a skill and make more money at it than you would in a MLM, because most of them are 90%, like 99% people don't make money in them. I'm not sure about the Canadian sides of most of these MLMs, because income disclosures are usually grouped as just the American side, not the Canadian side. I need to grab this. But I grew up in one, and I was like very, like, I never knew about it for the longest time, because it's like you only see the good side of it, because it's like, oh, it's putting food on the table. I'm getting cool products. I get makeup even though other kids my age aren't. I was actually delivering in high school. I was actually delivering makeup to a lot of like the alternative kids whose parents wouldn't let them buy makeup, but I would basically take my book bag. Some days was full of Avon. I'd spend parts of my day delivering Avon to their lockers, or sometimes their house, depending on like where they lived. So it was kind of like weird. Yes, I set my face after I do eyeliner. I don't know why. This weird agreement between like me and some other people that I just would deliver it and they would pay me a certain amount for delivery. So I was all like, Mom was still getting like the commission off, like, or like the markup fee alongside I was getting delivery fee, because they didn't want to go to, this town was super small, so everybody knew everybody, so they didn't want to go to like Dollarama or Walmart or Zellers and buy makeup. So it was just more convenient for me to drop off an Avon catalog and then just having an excuse that, oh, their mom put it in there, blah blah blah, or me dropping it off and like, oh, I usually use like plastic bags from like stores, like grocery stores, just to drop it off to them. And I never really thought that was weird. Like, you get such a skewed reality when you're in MLM, where it's sell more, make more, do more mentality. But there's nobody above Mom. Like, there was no upline at this time. So it was just her as a single consultant. Nowadays, I know Avon actually has the upline system, and I feel really bad for those people who stuck around for the what's that called? Restructuring of the company. But yeah, that's my story. I was raised in a MLM, and I actually ended up being kind of, I almost ended up being an MLM hun for a while. Basically was, but I was underage, and I didn't actually have any say in the business, unless the gloss is doing that thing. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you want to hear more of my MLM experiences, as I have quite a few, let me know in the comment section down below, or smash that like button. I will see. I can't even do my outro right now because apparently my lungs want to kill me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.